Deep down in one of the basements, covered by a pile of rubble, a single bottle of the original Kerel beer had been preserved. The glass was unbroken, the bottle cap was firmly in place. Luck? Destiny? No one wasted time on these philosophical questions. What they needed now was the miracle of science. With the greatest of care, the bottle was whisked off and offered to a team of Belgian experts and university scholars to analyze and extract the original Kerel yeast DNA. It's the very same yeast that is used today to brew every new delicious batch of Kerel beer. I'm Jeff. I just retired from the military, sold everything I own, and now I'm traveling around the world to learn from brewers, winemakers, distillers, and tell their story. This is my journey of beer, wine, and spirits.
Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet.
We live here in this village, so every day we drive here, and then we saw these buildings were for sale. And we were like, hey, maybe we can buy this and renovate them and rent it or sell it out. We will see. The people that were selling it, they were like, oh yeah, the front house, you can do renovations, but the rest of the buildings, yeah, that is just to tear down. It's just too old, bad state. It will never be anything. And the minute we walked in here, it was like time had stopped. It was green, it was very quiet, and I feel like you can still feel it when you visit the brewery now. Like you have some kind of quiet and peaceful feeling, and we got it when we first came here. We were immediately in love with this building, and we were like, hey, this was an old brewery, maybe we can brew beer. It started out like, hey, maybe we can just do this, but we didn't know a lot about beer. We were not brewing at home or anything. So then he started doing research. We got a home brewing installation at home, but first, of course, we did research about the building. Can we still brew here? We are in the middle of a village. Is it allowed that we are brewing? And it was still allowed, apparently. Can we do renovations? Is it possible to renovate these buildings because they were really old and in a really bad state? The guys that started renovations, they really risked their lives in the beginning because it was really about to collapse. June 2017, we have opened the brewery. So that's pretty quick to do all the renovations. It was not completely ready, but we had to start brewing to get an income. So we were like, let's just open this and do it. So we went from a 40-liter small brewing installation to 2,000 liters. So it was a risk because we had planned all the opening events and everything. We had invited everybody. So the beer had to be ready. But we didn't know for sure, will it be good if we make this? But we knew it from the past, like when we make a test of something and we made it in a bigger installation, it was always better. So we hoped this would be the same, and it was. So we started out with 6 beers, and then gradually some came in that we were thinking it were temporary, but then they had success, so we can't just take them out now. That's why we are now stuck with 9 beers.
Yeah. You guys are brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting? A lot of fighting?
No. It's funny.
Growing up,
we talked about this week.
Yeah.
So, because some families they can't work.
It's impossible for some other people. Sometimes we get comments like, how do you guys do it? But from the beginning we were like a good team, He was more quiet and production related. I was more loud. And so we actually really make a good team. The name of our beers is also a very good story because actually the beers that were brewed here in the old brewery had the same name. It was Kerel. And we were like, oh, this is an awesome name. Kerel actually means dude or a man in English. And we're like, okay, this is a good name. And also we liked the fact that the brewer in that time already had such a good name for his beer. The more we found out about him, we knew he was a very innovative brewer and he did really cool things. We found commercial plates of him with naked women on. In that age, I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So we fit in here, yeah.
Brewing is the in thing right now as I travel around the world and I see more and more breweries popping up. For the ambitious brewer, somebody that's looking to start, what are some of the successes and failures that you could probably pass on or that you've learned that you wish you knew when you first started?
Brewing is one thing, but you have to sell. It's the most important. You can brew thousands of liters of beer, but if they not sell, that's a big problem. So I think some brewers don't think enough about how to sell the beers on a good way, and I think you just need to think, what will we do in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? You have to make a good plan, because you can sell quick a lot of beer, but will they buy it again?
Keep on selling, yeah.
And realize you have to work very, very hard
Yeah.
to do it. It's always like that. It looks like a dream, but it's really, you have to do.
I think strategy is very important if you want to start a brewery, and not only about what types of beer you are making, because it's also important to know like what is selling very good and what might be the next step, because in Belgium, as you know, very traditional beers are selling good, but now as we have entered the market in the right time with some different approach, different types of beer.
Moving forward, what's the vision? Is the vision just make beer, or you guys talked about a strategy? So you guys are fairly new. So like, what's some of your goals? What's your near-term strategy, vision for the company?
We want to keep growing slowly, like we are doing now. We don't want to be like go up and go down very fast. We want to just keep on growing slower but steady, so the production can keep up, and so we can start new actions and make like the right commercial decisions for our beer. Belgians are very traditional in drinking. They are used to drinking very traditional, and they stick to their beer, you know. Duvel, I want to have Duvel, only Duvel, which is awesome beer, you know. It's great, we love it ourselves, we drink it. But we feel like the market is ready now for something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beer menus are changing everywhere.